nonprofits don't even know that their fundraising system is broken because chaos has become their comfort zone. They're so acclimated to the chaos that's happening, functioning in that way. Like they don't even know that it's a problem, that they are functioning in that way. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you is you don't need any more passion. People got passion to sell, right? Like you don't need more passion, you actually need a plan. If you've ever said we just need one big grant to be approved or one big donor, we're waiting on a grant to come through, like this is the wake up call that you need today. Because what is happening is that you are lying to yourself, right? You need to get out of that cycle that you're in where you're constantly wishing for things and actually working for things, okay? Actually doing work that will move the needle. Because a lot of nonprofit executives out there, they were taught that they have to chase money, right? But they're not taught that they need to build systems to that helps them with the revenue generation. They don't understand that revenue generation in a nonprofit organization is a non-negotiable. Visibility is a non-negotiable. There's so many things that these leaders were not taught. I saw a post on LinkedIn. I don't remember who posted it, but she was saying that it made her chuckle when somebody like told her, would she start a nonprofit or go work in a nonprofit if she was given the opportunity to do it again? She said no, because she didn't expect it to be so much work. There's a reason that a lot of people going in, they have a veil, right? And they don't understand how much work it takes. They don't understand that organizations that look like they have it together or that function properly, they had systems built over time to ensure that they function that way. So you don't want to be one of the leaders that's conditioned to hustle for every dollar instead of actually building a pipeline that can generate consistent revenue. Okay, 73% of nonprofits will say that their biggest barrier to growth is the lack of a fundraising strategy. And I will go as far to say, because that was claim that was something that the Stanford Innovation Review stated, but I will go as far to say that the strategy is one, but actually like having someone that understands how to implement it or someone that keeps themselves and their team accountable to make sure that the work is being done. And that's the other thing I want to like bring in is very important with fundraising strategies because a lot of people like they want a fundraising strategy. They want a fundraising strategy, not understanding you got that fundraising strategy, you better get to work because that's what needs to happen. Like you need to clearly understand what's in the fundraising strategy and put it into action. Okay, because 62% of small to mid-sized nonprofit organizations, they don't have any kind of systems in place, such as donor retention systems, which is causing them to have an issue with recurring income or recurring revenue. And that is not something that you need to be worried about because that becomes risky and reckless of you to expect your nonprofit organization to do, right? You can actually scale your nonprofit organization and grow into a very sustainable organization if you have systems in place, not just last minute appeals. Like, you know what's supposed to happen throughout the year. You know, like, it's part of a process. It's not because, oh, we don't have any money right now, we need to do this. No, you need to have something in place. You need to execute it. And then you need to, like, do its let it do its thing because you are taking intentional actions that help you raise these funds, right? So I want to talk before because I got a 2:30. I'm cutting it close today, y'all. So we're going to talk about signs that your fundraising systems are broken so you can stop leaking money and opportunity, right? So sign number one is that your revenue is inconsistent. That's the same goes for for-profit businesses, right? If you know how much money is coming in next month, if you don't know how much money is coming in next month, then your system is broken and it's causing it's making you do backflips that you're not supposed to do because predictable revenue equals sustainable programming. Because if you know how much money comes in, then your programming, the services and offers that you're giving it's easier for you to know how to manage those because you know what the budget should be and where the money's going and where the money's coming from, right? Sign number two is you're having to start from scratch every time you fundraise. You don't have templates, you don't have timelines, you don't have follow-up systems. It's like you're reinventing the wheel every campaign and you're exhausted because every time you're putting an event together, it's like, oh, we got to do this. We're running around like, things don't make sense because you didn't build systems around it. You're having to start from scratch every time, right? And sign number three that I'm going to bring up today is that you're only communicating with donors when you need something. Like I said before, your relationships are transactional and not really relational. Yeah, so you're not building relationships with your donors and they feel that, right? You can't only communicate to donors when you need something. That's not stewardship at the end of the day. That's panic-based fundraising. You're reaching out to them because you're panicking and you need something. You never even try to check on them throughout the year or share anything with them because remember, you have to share value with your donors. And if you're not doing that, you're doing them a disservice, right? Donors want to feel connected to the mission in your organization. They do not want to feel used, okay? And sign number four, right? You cannot clearly show how you're using the money. People are giving you money and you're not even showing them what you're doing with it. You're not even doing expense reports. You don't have a budget. You're a hot mess, right? Your nonprofit is a hot mess central. So impact reporting is not optional when it comes to a nonprofit organization because you need to show the work that you've been doing because it helps people, it helps stakeholders and the community trust in the work you're doing. Because if you can't answer, like if somebody comes to you, where did my donation go? Right? Don't expect for them to give again. So I want you to get in front of the whole shebang, the whole question, and actually share this information in form of an impact report or like consistent emails and sending information or even following up with a phone call and letting them know the work that you're doing, having conversations with them, right? Or even hosting an event like a tour for people to see the work that you're doing and like a fundraising event and having people come and tour your facilities to see the work that you're doing. And sign number five, you're relying too much on one source, like one grants, right? Or one major donor, because when you are dependent on one source, that becomes a liability, right? Because think about if the money disappears and your mission stalls, diversification becomes like a thing like that doesn't even exist. A lot of things are going to happen. A lot of uncertainty and stability happens because you are depending only on one source. At this point, you're surviving, your nonprofit is surviving, and that's the realm that you want to take it out of because diversifying revenue for a nonprofit organization should not be a luxury, right? It is ensuring that your nonprofit is able to be sustainable and support the programs and services it has for the community members or individuals that it serves, okay? So one thing I want you to know is that in April, in the next 2 weeks, I will be hosting a workshop, a 3-day workshop that's called Fix Your Fundraising Flow. There's a reason I'm doing this workshop, posting this workshop, because a lot of nonprofit executives do not know how to fix their fundraising systems. So we're gonna walk you through in this workshop. You're gonna have 3 days and it's gonna be work because then I'm gonna be there and guide you through how to put these documents together. First, you're gonna build a real fundraising calendar. Second, after we go through the framework and all the necessary things in day one, you need to learn how to make sure your team is aligned and the tasks are aligned with your capacity. Because if you do not have the capacity to do the work that's in the fundraising calendar, then it's going to fail. Right. So we're going to talk about like your capacity to handle the work that you're saying you can do in the fundraising calendar. And the last thing I want to share is that we're also going to walk you through creating a simple system to track and grow your funding pipeline. So if that's a workshop that you are interested in and you want to be part of this when I open signups, definitely drop a ME, in the comments, because then I'll send you the information as soon as the page is available and the registration is open. Because what I want to share is that this isn't about doing more, right? It's about finally going in, like doing the right things and going in the right direction, because you want to get to a place where you're not scrambling anymore and you're actually able to scale. So let's start fixing your fundraising flow. Let me know in the comments by dropping the word me that you want to be part of the Fix Your Fundraising Flow 3-day workshop, which is going to happen in 2 weeks. So I definitely want to know who wants in so I can send you the registration link when it's open. But with that said, I'm going to go and I hope you are having an amazing day and talk to you soon.